Hi, this is Adam from Chef Life Radio. I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine who's doing some great work.
Have you done all the hard work of writing a book, but you can't get it in enough readers' hands? If so, check out my podcast, The Reluctant Book Marketer, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Check out his podcast, won't you? The links are in the show notes.
Well, cheers to another one.
Knives down. Aprons off. The last table is served. The station is broken down. Everything's put away. Your inventory is complete. And now it's time to meet me on the back dock where all the most important meetings are held.
Oui, chef!
Take a deep breath and enjoy a job well done. At ease, kick off your clogs, smoke them if you got them. How about a nice cold beverage? Maybe a little bit of ice vine, a little bit of mountain sunshine. What do you think? Pull up a milk crate, let's get comfortable, and let's get to the good shit.
Oh, yes, chef.
We're on the dock with restaurateur, self-proclaimed taco maker, and dear friend, Deidra McGuiness-Ciolko. So there's a bunch of exercises that I've been going through, and I got into a conversation with a bunch of people on Facebook who gave me some opinions. And several of them were women who had been in the industry for a while, who I happen to know and have worked with. And they were reflecting back to me, you know, the misogyny that they still encounter.
Oh, yeah.
And my response to one of them was, you know, if you're secure in the value that you represent and your own abilities, then what the fuck do you care about what anyone else has to say? Which is easy to say when it, you know, when it's not my boss, right?
And it's easy to say when you're a man.
Sure. But, you know, one of the reasons I asked you on this show is, you know, you're one of the smartest people I know. And when you talked about, you know, never taking any time off, you know, you were always the one that never gave yourself any time off. You had a drive unlike anything I had experienced, and kind of shamed me a little bit because I was like, shit, man, I don't want to work that hard. So this thing about taking Joey to the abogado, to the lawyer's office, is really fascinating for me, because even though you knew that, especially in a patriarchal society like the Caribbean and Latin America, you know that you're going to be in this situation where someone's going to be looking down on you or trying to take advantage of you. You've just created a strategy by which, that can't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times had you run up against that before you figured, there's got to be a better way?
Yeah, it took me a long time. But I think that also, this is something that a lot of us, I think, who've been in the biz for a long time, I know a lot of my friends, we've all worked so hard. It is the nature of the business. And I see, as we're aging, a lot of us turning to meditation, prayer, getting rid of our bad habits, all those things that come from the business. And in that, there's a lot of space to learn one of those 3 R's, reinvent. Okay, I'm going to come up against this. What can I do just to make it easier for me? Now, my son has nothing to do with our business.
No, totally got it.
Wouldn't lift him up.
He's a stand-in.
Yeah, just a warm body. But the abogado looked at him directly, spoke to him the entire time. And I'm okay with that now. But it took me a lot of years in this business to get there, because it is prevalent. And this used to be, I will say used to be, when I was coming up in the 80s, it was a very male-dominated business. And I've worked mostly. So I'm kind of like a man. And I think that happens to a lot of women in many businesses that are male-dominated.
Mm-hmm.
You start to halfway. But if you really come up against it, instead of getting mad or yelling or, working double time, there's ways around it. If you stop and quiet your mind and think about, how can I get around this problem? And so with that, with the misogynist lawyer, that's what I came up with.
Because it's almost like fighting against the story that you're telling yourself, right? The story that you want to hear. There's the story that you're convinced of. And again, I have no experience because I've never been a woman, although I have worked for women who decidedly want to take out on me every insult that they'd ever gone through, which is
that's prevalent.
Yeah. But to be able to take all that in and just not let it bother you. Like, you have to shift the perspective. You have to say, doesn't mean anything about me, doesn't mean anything about them. It's just the way things are. And it's not like I'm advocating anybody just ignore abusive situations.
No,
There's
I'm not either.
Cultural things that, take, the arc of history trends towards justice, but in the moment, might catch a little crap.
Yeah.
So, and most of all, I was just connected to how much pain they were in, right? Like, they didn't actually want to acknowledge it, but in some direct messages, there was some real pain in the fact that they weren't acknowledged for the great employees they were. Not woman or man, just the fact that, they're holding this thing down, and the chef left, and, and, I totally get it. It's so sad.
Yeah.
And so that's why this goddamn podcast exists now.
Yeah. I mean, I particularly was interested in chatting with. It's not about it being a pitch session. And I liked that you wrote that. It's about finding solutions and sharing experiences with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, just overwhelmed by this. It's the devil's bargain, right? Mm-hmm. Like, those of us who are called to serve, in a humble yet begrudging way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I saw it in this woman's face last weekend, this kind of like weird dichotomy of like loving what you do, but also hating it. And she actually said out loud, while her daughter was at the table, her adult daughter, and her daughter had never heard this before, but she said, I wouldn't wish my life on anyone, running,
I understand,
running this business. And yet she's grooming her daughter, or I guess I'm coaching and mentoring her daughter to take the whole thing off. And, some of it is in the design and structure of the organization, and some of it is just the nature of the business, which is why now in my elderhood, when someone says to me, I'm going to be a chef, I'm going to be the best. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do me a favor, get a hobby.
Yeah.
But chef,
great
chef,
advice.
Cooking is my life. I'm like, okay, so just let you know, probably wash out pretty soon, because if you don't, like, it's creativity in other areas. Like, I remember reading the stuff that you wrote years ago, Deidra, like, and always thinking of like, wow, okay, what she do? And then during COVID, you had this explosion of creativity, and now you can't stop it. Fucking fantastic. Because the thing is, creative people can be creative in other ways, but it doesn't always have to be channeled into this one thing, because then you become that which you are.
Yeah.
What you do, I guess I should say. And I guess in the larger sense, that's true about everybody. But I always got twisted up when someone says, no, I am a chef.
Mm-hmm.
Or I am a restaurant owner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what you do for a living, but that's not the be all and end all, even though there's those.
But it is, unfortunately, because
you don't want to tell anybody that.
I know, but you have to. It's like I say about mothers. When I had a baby, I was so angry with every other mother I knew. Like, why didn't you tell me how much stuff?
Right.
It's, you have to be on. And now I tell people, listen, put your big girl pants on, because this is not as easy as people make it look. And it's the same thing with owning your own restaurant, or being the head chef, or general manager. It is your life. It's your life, and we have to be honest about it. But there's a lot of beautiful parts to it. And if you can, I think for younger people out there, if you can learn from us, your elders. Now, it's hard to do that. It's hard to listen to people who've been there before, but you should get a hobby. don't make the business your life. Set boundaries, do inventories, all those things. I think people need to be warned of that because, it's a great business. It's a high and so many people and, I don't know. We also have the great opportunity here to be able to give back to our community a lot more than we could have in the U.S. And we actually made that stipulation in the franchise package that you have to give 3% back to your community.
Good on you, girl.
Because that's a big part of it. And I know that you years ago were involved with what was the organization, the Chef's Feed?
Share our strength.
Yeah.
Taste of the nation.
I love
our strength. Yeah.
All those things are important because we, as an industry, are servers. And, we can take that opportunity to serve our fellow humans.
I also wrote down something else because the title of the show actually came to me during our discussion, which was sobering realizations. Not necessarily this idea of like we have to put away all our bad habits, but the sobering realization that, some people might feel like this job chose us, but there's certainly a part of us that gravitated towards community. And that's a wonderful thing that I see Joe doing out there on the tables is he's building community because the only thing that people ever want is to feel like a part of something, whether it's the associate or whether it's and there's nothing better when the boss knows your name. Like, wow, I can go there and I see him and he says hello to me and he knows who I am and my money's not wasted. I mean, as far as of everything that I've ever been able to divine of this business, that it comes down to two things, and it's being in relationship and building community.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I don't know if it was you that coined where it came from, but I love it and I use it a lot. And I think it shows that trickle down. It's a trickle down effect that you're saying right now about how you community that you build your clients. It's also, the restaurant industry is like the island of the misfit toys, and it accepts everybody. You're a drug addict, you're a drunk, you're mentally ill, you're odd, whatever it is, you're welcome here. And we're going to make you feel at home. You're going to fit in. And I think that trickles down because, we're used to that as an industry of being a lot of different people and having to work together to orchestrate a beautiful dinner for someone's anniversary.
I think the other thing that it spawns is, or that I've actually been the recipient of, is there's like infinite opportunities for owning your shit and being not only accepted but being like brought back into the fold. Like there's so many. I've had forgiveness bestowed upon me in so many ways and so many times in my career, unlike anything I had ever experienced before. Even when I thought I didn't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And that only came through, the people who thought enough of me that, they would hold out their hand and say, you're not lost, just a little fucking confused. Come on back.
Yeah. Last year or the year before the pandemic, I did a consulting job in Rhode Island and I interviewed 42 chefs for a position. That's a lot of chefs.
Yeah.
And the first question I would ask them, and I'm not a chef, can't wear that badge, and I adore it, but I would say to them, "So what's your issue?" That was the first question.
Thank you.
And most people would, look at me funny, give me this quizzical look. The guy I hired said to me, Jameson's is my issue. He said, I can wait until 7:00 at night. I'll never drink when I'm behind the line, but Jameson's is my issue. And if you have a problem with that, I don't think I can work here. And I'm like, you're hired. Thanks for being honest. whatever it is, when you're building a team, everybody gets a slot. Everybody has a space and all of it can work. Just like in a family, you just got to know where, okay, I'm here after 7 o'clock. I need the best line cook we got. All right. That's cool.
It's like ultimately setting everyone up for success. Like, don't promote the best server to a general manager because they'll just fail.
Yeah.
Like, they may not necessarily have, just because someone's really good at their present job doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be good at something else. There's training involved and all that kind of stuff, but I think
not everyone's come out for it.
But I think it's incumbent upon us too, as like leaders, and Deidra, it doesn't matter to me that you're not a chef. Like I said, you're here because you're one of the smartest people I know. I missed you greatly. I wanted to talk to you, but also because I knew you had hard-won wisdom. This shit doesn't fucking come easy. And you're still here to tell the fucking tale with a smile on your face. So I know that there's listeners out there who are going to listen to this and take something away and have their perspective changed in a way that they hadn't anticipated. And so for that, I'm incredibly grateful for you being here.
That's it for this episode of Chef Life Radio's On the Dock. There's a new kitchen culture coming, and we all get to be part of it. It's what we wanted when we started, but we're either too afraid or pessimistic to ask for it. It doesn't matter what the poster on the wall says. Remember, your workplace culture starts from the bottom up. In fact, it starts with you. At Chef Life Radio, we believe that working in a kitchen should be demanding. It shouldn't have to be demeaning. It should be hard, just doesn't have to be harsh. We believe that it's possible to have more solidarity and less suck it up sunshine, more compassion, less cutthroat island, more partnership and less put up or shut up, and we get to have more community and less fuck you.
We chef!
And finally, we believe in you. Consider for a second, for all the blood, sweat, and tears we put into what we do, that really, at the end of the day, it's just some stuff on a plate. None of it really matters. It doesn't define you as a person or make you any more special or less than anyone else. It's just a dance that we're engaged in, so we might as well laugh and enjoy every bit of it. Or didn't you know that the purpose of your life should be to enjoy it?
I get happy. I fucking love it. I am humble. Goddamn Tory Fox, I don't live on now.
Stand tall and frosty, brothers and sisters. Until next time, be well and do good.
In case you didn't realize it, we just got our asses kicked in there, man.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the other goddamn social media sites at Chef Life Radio, all one word. Visit us on the website at chefliferadio.com.
Oh, yes, Chef.
This show was written, produced, and recorded by me, Adam Lamb, at the Dish Pit Studios in Bardo, North Carolina, and co-produced by Thomas Stephenson. On the Dock is a production of Realignment Media.